How's it going, everyone? This is Bison Vaulted, back with the Warlock card review this time. It's your boy Nate, my friend Josh. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Right, you didn't say howdy.
I didn't say howdy. Changing it up on you.
Alright, I'll respect it. Okay, let's get right into it. The first card, one cost Warlock spell, Chaotic Consumption. Destroy a friendly minion to destroy an enemy minion. So, the metas right now for Warlock is Imp Warlock, if I'm correct, right, Josh?
Yeah, Imp Warlock or kind of this big or like a control deck.
Okay, I think this is
control curse.
Yeah, this is good in Imp Warlock at least, off the bat, right?
Yeah, I think it can be pretty solid in Imp. Has a little bit of counter synergy because in Imp you really don't want to be giving up your board. But on the other hand, you know, they put up a taunt in your way that you would have had to trade 3 Imps into. Just Chaotic Consumption, destroy one, and then pick which one you want to destroy, get through it. If this was a random enemy, it would be garbage. Yeah. But the fact that it's targeted makes it, you know, definitely playable nonetheless.
Yeah, I think after you play the location, like the Imp location, you could just play this after you buff an Imp or something like that, and that's pretty good. That's like pretty decent after you... Because you'd normally trade off some of the tokens sometimes anyways. If they have like a big taunt to front your guy, this is good, right?
Yeah, because you're gonna want to, you know, infuse your Rafam anyway, so you're gonna trade imps down, regardless. It's kind of your whole game plan, and you have so many resources just to rebuild your board. So it's not the end of the world to get rid of your imps, but sometimes it's gonna feel really bad getting rid of your imps.
Okay, so I'll go with 3-star. I think it's strong, but not meta defining.
Yeah, I like it at 3. Okay. I think that's fair.
Okay. Next card. Monstrous Form. 1 cost Shadow Warlock spell. Give a friendly minion +3/+3 until your next turn. So this is kind of reminiscent of, what's it called? Power Overwhelming. In some regard, Power Overwhelming sacrificed the minion though. But that card was running like almost every Warlock deck, right?
Yep, it was a must-have card, no matter what people were playing it. I even remember I played it in every single Warlock deck I made, just because it was, you know, so strong. It's just, especially in that time, it's just a great finisher. Given a 4/4 buff just to send to face.
Well, this card isn't the same. It's definitely different.
Yeah, no, different time era, and also I think this card, you know, you're getting +1/+1 less, but the minion A doesn't die, and B keeps its buff until next turn. The Power Overwhelming killed it at the end of your turn. So this, you know, you put this on a taunt minion, you know, they might have to fight through this buff anyway, and when it goes away, your minion won't actually, if say, you know, your minion takes damage down to 3 health, it won't lose the health. It just loses the attack.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think this card definitely has good playability, especially when looking at something like Power Overwhelming. I think this fits nicely in. It won't be in control. I can't see this being thrown in every deck anymore. But I mean, if Imp Locks continues to be a strong meta a strong meta deck, I can see this easily slotting in.
Yeah, it synergizes well too with the new location they're adding. I think it's strong. I don't think it's as good as Chaotic Consumption, to be honest. I think it's still in the 3-star category. Like, maybe slightly worse than Chaotic Consumption. But it's definitely not a bad card.
No, definitely not.
I think 3 stars fair.
Yep, I would also give this 3 stars.
Yeah, I don't think it being Shadow is relevant either, to be honest. At least not in Standard. But yeah.
No, if you're trying to discover Shadow spells, it's not going to be, you know, usually you're not in the position where you want to pick it, but I mean, it will have its play.
So next up, Thornveil Tentacle, 2 mana, 2/2, lifesteal, battle card, 2 damage to random enemy minion. Now this is kind of a tragic card. If it was targeted, I think it would be decent, but the fact that it's to a random enemy minion, I just don't think that's strong enough. I think even with it, if it was targeted, it would be like I would be rating it a 3-star, but the fact that it's random, probably 1-star in my book.
Yeah, no, targeted, I think it's definitely better, but the fact that it's random, it's not good. I don't think it's good. I mean, the lifesteal upside is nice, but it's not what you want to see.
Yeah.
not what you want to see.
I like the flavor text of that Jennifer dumped me. That's pretty funny, at least.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
But next card. So this is 1 star in my book.
Yeah.
Forge of Wills, 3-mana location with 2 uses. Choose a friendly minion, summon a giant with its stats and rush. I think we're a little divided. I think this is somewhat strong, but it's gonna be situational. It depends what Warlock decks are good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see it being good if you can consistently get out the new legendary that we'll discuss shortly on turn. If you can play this before that and play him on 6 and only have your deck, and have your deck set up so that you're only discovering high cost cards, then yeah, you cheat out a 8/8 on turn 6. Technically 2 8/8s on turn 6. That's very strong. How often are you actually going to pull that off? I think this card is going to be slow, and by the time you get the pop off, it's going to be late in the game, and you're not actually going to get that much of an advantage because your opponent's just going to be able to kill it.
It does have rush though.
Yeah, the rush upside is great.
That's the reason why I think it's if it didn't have the rush, I'd say it'd be unplayable. But having rush makes it impact the board. Like it's gonna be good for swing turns. I feel like, which is what I'm scared about.
Yeah, I think it has good swing potential. I think it can definitely help you get rid of some threats, especially if you are able to get a big body on board to capitalize with it.
So I would say I'm unsure, so I'm gonna say 2-star for now. To be honest.
Yeah,
I think it's
I like
really
2-star
strong,
for it.
But I also don't like the only big minions I really know about in Warlock are like Sargeras. And if you did get what's the Murloc? What's the Murloc from Sunken City? The Colossal?
Oh, well, I can't think of its name now either. 7/4.
The 7. We know. Hopefully, you guys know what we're talking about.
Not Mutanus.
It's not Mutanus. It's fine. We'll come back to it. But I think that could be pretty decent with this. But at the moment, I feel like there's just not enough big cards for it. So I'm gonna say 2-star.
Oh, it's Gigafin.
Gigafin. There we go. Yep, Gigafin. Okay. So 2 stars fair, you think?
Yep. I agree. 2 stars.
Okay. Next card. Mortal Eradication. 3-mana shadow spell. Deal 5 damage randomly split among all enemy minions. Restore 2 health to your hero for each kill. I don't know. I think it's a little too slow. It's like a Cinderstorm, but that card wasn't even seen. Didn't even see that much play.
Yeah, Cinderstorm was used to deal damage to face.
Yeah.
People weren't using Cinderstorm to clear a board. This is so unpredictable. I mean, you'll feel decent if you clear 5/5 with it, if that's all they have on the board. But if they're wide whatsoever, you're not clearing anything.
Yeah.
You're just going to do a bunch of chip damage and feel awful when you get smacked for a whole bunch of damage next turn because you didn't actually clear anything.
It's not even good enough in a control deck, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, granted, if you're able to set up a Defile, I guess, or, be able to chip into it, then it has its place. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's random, so there's still luck involved. It'll be good against aggro matchups, I guess, if, we're back to the 1 health tokens, which we haven't seen in a while. But,
I think it's 1 star.
Tokens all have 2 health or 3 health now, so I don't think it's good.
Yeah, I don't see any situation you want. If it was 2-star, or even if it was 2 mana, I think even then it might almost be a little too slow. Think about Minefield, which was a card in Warrior. That card was run in most Warrior decks, from what I remember, though. But that did 5 damage, randomly split among all minions, and it was a one cost less. But that was also during the Dark Moon Fair, I believe. So
that was a different era of Hearthstone. Yeah. I mean, you also had the 5 cost 3/4 that did damage to all mechs. So that was a good card. I like that card, but
I think this is a 1 star.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. Next card. Disciple of Sargeras. 4 cost 3/3. Battle card, discard a spell, summon 2 3/2 imps. Forge, give them +2 health and taunt. This is honestly just straight up worse than the 4-mana 3/3 imp that summons a copy of itself baseline, in my opinion. The fact you have to discard a spell, so you're discarding a spell to get 9/7 in stats, it's pretty weak, and forging this is just so slow. Giving them plus extra 4 health and taunt, I feel like it's just almost useless, to be honest, for 2 mana, specifically. So, I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, because think about the matchup where this is going to be good, right? In an aggro setting where you're playing against aggro, and okay, I'm going to take a downturn to forge this. There's 2 mana gone where they will build a stronger board. Then I'm going to discard a spell in a matchup where spells are a necessity to survive. It's
counterintuitive.
Yeah, I don't know if 2 health and taunt on 2 imps. I don't think the forge. Yeah, I mean it's definitely better forged, obviously, but I don't know if discarding a spell to summon 3/2 imps is good. The only other part, though, that if this was played in a tokeny kind of deck, just getting 9/7 in stats dumped on the board, that's a play. That's decent. It's you have the spell to get rid of, though, because I don't think this will go off if you don't have a spell.
It doesn't.
You have the coin sitting around.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's just not a good card.
I don't either.
Okay.
Yep, I agree.
Next up, Wing Welding. 4 mana spell. Discard your highest cost card. Deal damage equal to its cost to all minions. It's okay. It's definitely better than Moral Eradication, in my opinion. But in a control deck, you normally don't want to discard your highest cost card, right? So
yeah, it's not even highest cost spell or highest cost minion. It's specifically highest cost card. So sorry, spoiler. We're going to talk about Sargeras, the Warlock Titan here shortly. You have that in hand. This is going to feel atrocious to play.
You don't even
play
it.
You
don't even play it. You can't. It's a dead
you
card.
can't. Yeah, it's a dead card. It's a dead card until you play Sargeras.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to discard.
Oh, yep. Finish. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not going to discard your win more card. So, and it's going to feel really bad when you have to play this to clear a board, and you're fucked because you have to discard your Sargeras.
I think the only redeeming quality is that it is sort of at your discretion what amount of damage you want to do to the board, and if you really need to, it is an out against aggro decks. Like if you are playing against an aggro deck, those Sargeras you might not even need to clear to end the game, in my opinion. And this could save you. So I think it's not 1-star criteria, but I think maybe 2-star at best.
I think it's 2. It's going to be a strong board clear. I think it's just going to feel really bad and really stuck in certain situations.
If there was discard synergy, maybe. But I don't see any discard synergy in this set. But yeah, I think 2 stars is fair. So next up,
I think there's some in standard, but
nothing impactful, at least.
No, nothing that makes you want to target it.
I think with this expansion, they could be setting up for a discard package in the mini set or in a future expansion, but at the moment, it's just not going to be played. But
which would be fun. I like discard. I like when there's a lot of discard synergy. I think it's a fun archetype, but you need a lot of support. It was only good during one expansion.
It's because of that Rostakon's Rumble legendary, right? The whenever you discard this, add 2 copies to your hand.
Yeah. Why do I remember her? I remember her like cry, but I don't remember her actual name. It's high something. It's high priestess
like Jeklik or something.
Jeklik, that's it. It's Jeklik.
That was a cool card. But okay, so let's
Hyreek, grant me wings.
Yeah, because they just spam the sound. You hear like 4 of it.
Yeah.
But okay, next.
You just repetitively heard her say, "Hyreek, grant me wings."
Okay, next up here we got Loken, Jailer of Yogg-Saron. I really like the name right off the bat. But 6 mana 3/3 battle cry. Discover a minion from your deck. Summon a tentacle with stats and taunt, or with its stats and taunt. Excuse me. I think it's okay. I wish it discovered a copy, to be honest. But discovering a minion from your deck, you draw a good card, and then you get to tutor what you want to get the tentacles with taunt, or tentacle with taunt. I think it's okay. It's definitely not as good as Sargeras, but it's good in control decks, in my opinion. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, if it was discover one of your 3 highest cost cards, I think it would be great. But I don't know.
It limits deck building.
You,
Slightly.
kind of. Because I think there'll always be an option for you to pick, which is good. And deck thinning, in my opinion, is deck winning. So, I think more times than not, you're going to get something you want to pull. It's just, and again, it's going to feel really bad when it does whiff, and you're stuck between a tour guide, I can't even think of Virtuoso. Just cheap one drops.
You can't run the good one drops with this. Or you can.
I mean, you can and you have to. What's going to be played for? You kind of have to play your one drops. It's like a good control piece. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, if you find anything that's 5 cost or higher, it's going to feel really good. Getting a 6 cost, getting a 3/3 body and then a 6/6 with taunt plus drawing a specific card. Mm-hmm. That's going to feel really good. So yeah, I think this card's going to have a lot of playability. It's definitely going to be played it's going to be a staple in Control. That's all I'm going to say.
I think 4 is fair for this card.
Yeah, I think 4 is a great spot for this card.
Okay, next up, Imprisoned Horror. 9 mana, 5/5. Costs 1 less for each damage you've taken on your turns this game. Now, I feel like it is, off the bat, oftentimes going to be a 0 mana 5/5 if you draw it late game. But getting this early game just bricks your hand so hard. If you mulligan something back and get this, that's going to feel absolutely terrible. And even drawing a 0 mana 5/5 late game, I feel like even in Control, if this had Taunt, it would be good. But it's just a 5/5 body late game. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, depending on what you do, if you tap, say you Tour Guide on 1, tap, Tour Guide, or not Tour Guide, just tap normally on 2, tap on 3, that gets us down to a 3 mana card on turn 4, tap again, and you've got it down to a 1 drop on turn 4. So you're just going to have a very set game plan if this is in your mulligan. Like, you're going to have to be tapping often and fast. But if you get down, in that mid game, weaving a 5/5 in, we see that now with Light Ray in Paladin. That the card's great. That has Taunt and Divine Shield.
But granted, it has Taunt. The difference is it doesn't have Divine Shield. It has Taunt.
Oh, excuse me, Taunt. Yeah.
And that makes it really good because it kind of just bogs things down. I think if this had a keyword, it would definitely. I think it could definitely benefit from having Taunt.
I agree.
I think so. Maybe we'll see that in a future patch. I could see that coming in a future patch.
Yeah.
Well, so we'll see.
I think it's just worse than Mountain Giant, in my opinion. If you're gonna want to tap early game, Mountain Giant has +3/+3, and it's like you're not damaging yourself, or you are damaging yourself, but it's, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this card. Yeah, I mean, I'm not either, but because it's like I said, it might find its way in Imp, but because Imp has the 1-drop 3/2 that deals 3 to itself, but again, you don't really want to be tapping too much. Yeah. This card's gonna feel fabulous against Curse Warlock. Oh yeah. Because they're damaging you and on your turn. I'd say 2. I don't think it's bad enough to be 1, but definitely not 3. Mm-hmm. So I'll go with 2. Okay. Yep, I think 2's great. And then we definitely have the best card for last. Sargeras the Destroyer. You guys all know what this card does. 9 mana, 6/12 Titan. Battlecry. Complete the Warlock quest and cast the 5-cost spell. It's all of the abilities are also pretty good, in my opinion. You definitely normally want to play Legion Invasion to guarantee that you're getting that taunt value. That is just, that alone to me makes this card really insane in Control. I think it's a really good win condition. Maybe not as good as the Warrior win condition, but I could argue either way, to be honest. And if you really need to, you have that out with To the Void, which just silences and destroys every minion, which is just so good. It doesn't destroy Sargeras too, right? Nope, it destroys everything else. So that is really good too. It's pretty it's not situational. It's pretty versatile. I don't know what else. Yeah. Say, well, my thing is, that card Niru. That's just this guy's ability on a stick. You can still have cards in your deck. Yeah. Like this.
I can't think of the quest line. What it's called? It's
What
based off of discard synergy. But
quest? The Warlock quest.
yeah, the Warlock
Lucari
quest. But that's still
Sacrifice.
playing. Yes, that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have Lucari Sacrifice, 6-step quest. You have to discard a bunch of material to do it, and if nothing else, and then you have to play 5 mana on top of it. This is just that on a stick again.
Although to be fair,
Really
that quest
strong.
Play.
Yeah, people tried, but yeah, you're right. But I think when you're tapping on the I think it's was it Into the Void, or no, not To the Void. Which one's the Bellblaze Inferno? Whatever one gives the health, I think that's gonna be so annoying when you're just pumping these out with 3/4 with just infinite wave with 3/4s, 3/4 taunts is gonna be highly annoying to beat.
So strong.
Yeah, and if they don't kill it, then you're just gonna drop 6/8 taunts on their head because they come out of the portal technically, so they get the buff. It's just a super strong card.
They have to.
And it also has a twisting nether, and that silences. It's actually a plague. Yeah, it's Plague of Death on a stick. That doesn't kill him.
Easy 5-star. Not as good as the Shaman one
easy.
in my opinion. I'm gonna say that. It would be controversial, but I think this is just a super strong card at least.
I agree.
At least a 5. But yeah. Any other remarks? I think that's about it for the Warlock class review.
Yep, I think that's it.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed watching. Let us know in the comments if you have any critiques to these cards. But I think we hit the nail on the head with this one. But make sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.